Histrionic. What is histrionic personality disorder?
Histrionic personality disorder is characterized by an excessive emotionality as well as a pattern of attention seeking. It's important to note that the attention seeking doesn't have to all be good attention. Patients with histrionic personality disorder often operate that any attention is better than no attention at all.
What are the signs of histrionic personality disorder?
A person with histrionic personality disorder is going to be attention-seeking, and that attention does not have to be good attention. It can be bad attention. Any attention at all is better than none. They need to be the center of attention. They will constantly be drawing attention to themselves. They will make scenes, create, uproar. They're often quite seductive and coquettish. They will they may control relationships by being very dramatic and theatrical. They can appear very needy and dependent. These patients also play hunches. They're not very cognitive. And that's not to say that they're not intelligent, but they often make their decisions based on how they feel about things. They do not like routine. They get bored easily. So they often will start projects with an enormous amount of enthusiasm only to never finish it. They get tired of people, really. Just like projects, they get tired, they'll start their relationships with people and then drop them, They will jump you like a hot rock if something more interesting comes up. In addition, it's important to note that patients with histrionic personality disorder, despite the fact that they are very emotional and incredibly dramatic, one of the things that's always a cue for me as the interviewer or the psychiatrist, is that I'll have someone who's expressing a lot of intense emotion and I'll find myself curiously unmoved by that, So there is sort of a disingenuousness despite what appears to be an intensity of feeling involved. And I think that should be a cue, they appear somewhat insincere, despite the fact that they're claiming to have a lot of intense feeling. And that would apply to their relationships with people as well. They often will, tell you that they'll characterize relationships as much more intimate than they actually are. In other words, you'll be talking to someone and they'll go, "Oh, she's totally like my best friend," and you just met her last week.
What are the causes of histrionic personality disorder?
I don't know of any convincing evidence that there's anything linked to the etiology of histrionic personality disorder. It is thought to be much more common in women than men, and that may just be a social thing, is that women can act like that and get away with it a little more easily than men.
What are the dangers of histrionic personality disorder?
I think the dangers of this disorder is that, despite the fact that these patients really do crave intimacy and closeness with other people, is that by virtue of their personality disorder, they're never going to get that. People kind of tire of their theatrics after a while, and their what appears to be apparent disingenuousness. Occupationally, I guess it might be possible for them to function quite well if, that sort of theatrical drama was required by the job, or they had a job in which their behavior was tolerated somewhat.
What are the treatments for histrionic personality disorder?
There aren't any established treatments that uniformly work. I think being histrionic puts you at risk to develop mood disorders. These patients get depressed pretty easily. And if you meet criteria for major depressive disorder, then you should be treated with antidepressants. But I think the major treatment would be insight-oriented psychotherapy, trying to get the person to develop some insight into the link between their behavior and people's reactions to them.